My legs crumbled, in front of Buckingham Palace, and pretty much as we were turning the corner, and the end was in sight. But that's still a long way down the Mall to get to. Maybe that was a realisation, and the legs just gave. But the body shut down. That's all I can tell you.
And at one point, I thought I wasn't going to finish the race myself, but I was determined. Right, I'm going to finish this race. Just do the best you can, even with the calf issue. It's funny, like you said, these things, my moment with David was caught on camera, but I was helped on the course. I stopped a number of times to stretch out my calf, and spectators came over and said, do you need a massage, do you need any help? Other runners said, I'll slow down and go with you, and I told them to go on. So these things are happening all throughout the course, at this event and other events. I was literally just about to get into my stride to sprint finish. I've always got a little bit of a sprint finish left in me. But then I saw David, and at the point I saw him, he was clearly struggling, and then his legs just went from beneath him, and he fell to the ground. And at that moment, for me, it was all about going to see if he was okay. Went over, and he was like, I've got to finish. I was like, you will? And I'd helped him up. And he's like, go on, finish your race. And I said, no, I want to make sure you finish. And then his legs collapsed again. It was clear that he wasn't going to be able to do this alone. So I said I'd stick with him to make sure that he did reach that finish line.
Did you think for 1 minute, I'm not going to help him, he's having a bad day but tough? No,
it didn't cross my mind. It wasn't even like a decision. When I saw him struggling, that was it. I was going over to help him. I wanted, I didn't want him to run 26 miles and for a steward or someone to pull him out and him not make that final 200 meters. We all go through the same things. We've all prepared, we've all run the miles. Faster runner, slower runner, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how fast you are. We've all put ourselves through a hell of a lot to run a marathon. And to go 26 miles and be 200 meters away from the finish, I couldn't let him not finish.
No, that never occurred to me. I'm not going to make it. I'll get there sometime, whether it's
on hands
this
and
hour or next hour. Yeah, possibly. But the first time I went down and Matthew, got me up off the floor. Do you remember? He has just run. However his day's gone, and however fit he is, he's just run 26 and a bit miles, and he, not only did he have the presence of thought, but the physical strength to pick a guy off the ground. Break your rhythm, pick this guy off the ground. The thing was, and that's right, I was frustrated for him. We've never met. I didn't know what his goal was for the day. I wasn't embarrassed, but I was frustrated for him. I know what it feels like to be going for this, and. So I was urging him, no, you leave me. And particularly then a really kind volunteer came over and got on the other side. And at that point it was like, go. And I think that really sums up the gentleman, is that he had done enough already. At that point, he's in I was in the arms of the organiser, and they would take care, but he still stuck with me. And I just think that's wonderful. I have to say, I was in the medical tent a long time, and had clarity of thought, and I will reflect. I need to get away from all of this and reflect on the day, but my concern was the risk I put on myself with 2 young children.
Yeah.
That I'm doing something for the fun. It's my recreation. I just felt so selfish that I was there in a very bad way, and it's with massive thanks to the medical team of London Marathon. So many volunteers, so many kind faces, so many kind words in the medical tent, and I don't know where I'd be really without that, because it took a long time for me to get any strength to be sat up and